Hey everybody, Matt Tommaso here, back with Marvel Heroes. We have a small patch, 2.34, and there's some minor changes to the Spider-Man. Um, it's really not too much, but I guess it's enough to warrant a little bit of a video. Um, get me to play him a little bit again. Uh, he's not my all-time favorite because I don't think they really did a great job when they did his 52 review. It was probably the start of the decline of the bad reviews. Um, but he's alright, and we got a pretty good build, and this should actually get you through him. He reminds me a lot of Gambit in some ways, and I prefer Gambit, so I guess that's why I prefer to stay that way. But let me go into the build. He's pretty capable, and he's even more capable now. So they beefed up his survivability a little bit, and they beefed that up in some web shield here. His regeneration's up a little bit, the duration's up a little bit. So that's pretty nice. And they added a projectile deflection bonus. So I think that's a little bit higher than it used to be. And for this build, what we're going to do is it's basically still around my Spectacular Spider-Man build. But seeing how they changed how Spider Sense worked, we don't even have to put points in there anymore, especially considering how Dodge has been nerfed. There's no really point into putting points into it when we're better off upping our offense, and they improved Amazing Smash dramatically, which made it worth going for. And so that's what I'm doing. And for this build, we're keeping Spider Brawl because it still has that extra bonus damage against bosses, and that helps you burn them down pretty easy. So that's why I say it's kind of reminding me of Gambit with that bow beatdown. When they do their melee, they're kind of copying a lot of the same things. And we're going with Spider with the Fly, Spider to the Fly. I mean, why not? Melee damage rating goes up when you hit with a ranged power, and you get some crit and brutal strike there. Definitely a nice little bonus. And we're taking Amazing Smash this time around because that's some pretty good damage, but look at the dot damage. That's going to help us out with bosses big time. So that'll do some really significant damage. I mean, that's 30, 150, 210,000 at I'm 53, I think. So every 25 seconds, that's some nice extra damage. We can drop that on the boss to begin with and maybe get it on the boss again, depending on what level. Definitely a Cosmic will be able to drop that a couple times on the boss, and that'll help us out dramatically. This is a melee in an area, but it's not a ranged, so you do need a range, and I'm sticking with Web Spray. I stick with Web Spray because it may not have as big first initial hit as some of the other moves, but with the minus to almost 40% to attack and movement speed, I have bad gear on Spider-Man. With good gear, I'm sure you'd be over 40%. I mean, that's pretty awesome. And a vulnerability where everybody takes 10% extra damage. That's pretty awesome also, especially going against bosses. It burns trash down pretty easily. That with just the 1 point in Spider Strike going against trash, you're doing more than enough damage. Obviously, we're going to take Constrictive Web Spray or webbing. That used to be what it's called. For the extra damage, the big dot, 8 seconds worth of dot now, and it gives damage rating to those web powers, so that ups the Web Spray. That's how it's doing a little bit more damage. And then finally, the Web Shield is where you're going to dump points. Be sure you have a point in at least Superior Agility and Agile Attack. Agile Attack will be your movement dodge ability, and Superior Agility is just a nice buff. It gives us a damage negated anytime we use a movement ability or when you dodge. And we will be using that movement ability. You can put a point in Web Swing for some movement speed. Flying around, moving between hubs. When you're done with your Cosmic Bounty, you can fly to the end. And then you can put a point in Infuriating Humor if you wish. If that's something you want. And that would be it. As far as gearing, you could go with an Idol of Khonshu. It would fit in here rather nicely. That's something I'm thinking about at level 55. because web spray is range tag and it's a nice, it has a dot to it. I believe the corrosive web spray, I haven't tested it yet, I believe that would work as a dot. I could be wrong on that. When it's tested, I'll put a post on the video. But that could very well be an option. Right now I'm sticking with Yukio's charm because really the boss burner is Spider Brawl anyways, and that's almost 523 damage with melee powers and 3500 regen. That's almost the same as Idol Khonshu anyways, although I would like the +1 to all abilities, that's why. Dr. Doom's medallion is very, very superior on the Spider-Man now. The reason being is with that 20% power addition, that's affecting our superior agility, our web shield, our agile attack, our maximum spider. I mean, it just carries on and on. It goes everywhere. I don't know if it will affect the duration of the dots. Some people say it does, some people say it doesn't. I've seen it where it does, and I've seen some dots where it doesn't, so it's really hard to say whether or not it's going to work on these dots or not. It's just worth having for the buffs alone. Going back to gear, I got River of the Soul on for that power duration again, and then Spirit on hit combined with a Pym Shrinking Serum every time you dodge. Even though I don't have a high dodge because I didn't dodge it out, I'm still dodging 1 out of 3 attacks. So that's going to give me 60, almost 70 spirit there. Plus every time I hit with the River of Soul, that's going to keep me in spirit with minus spirit cost. I should be able to spam Spider Brawl on bosses until they're dead and drop web spray whenever I want. I shouldn't have any spirit problems at all, especially backed up by Advanced Super Soldier Serum. And then should you run out of spirit, you always have Spider Strike, which restores spirit on any hit anyways. Obviously, Relic of Lemuria. I mean, it's kind of the standard for most people. It helps with survivability anyways. Web Shield, oop, that should be out here. Where's my Web Shield? That's the way it should look. Web Shield is really a survivable move as well. Backed up with your costume, 25% health and spirit on medkit use. That should be on. I should have a low level one and then a level 61 waiting for when you hit 60. I'm not quite 60 yet, so I got a low level one. Movement speed, that's alright too. Whatever secondary ability happens to be on there is what it is, but really 25% health and spirit on medkit use is what I need, especially if you're going to be meleeing anything. Hit point and hit point regeneration are the primary factors here, and if you have a 25% hit point core, hit points are probably a little bit more prioritized over hit point regeneration. And I got farming gear here and hit points on my ring with whatever benefit I could find elsewhere. Movement speed happens to be it here, but melee and range would be nice. So I will show it on my usual Dr. Octopus. There he is. This is going to be really easy. I haven't played him in a while, but they'll still be pretty easy. I'll jump for a move. Oh, I think my sound died. Let's see, did my sound come back? Let me try replugging it in. There it is. Sorry about that, didn't realize the sound died. Big problem with, yeah, you can see they just die instantly. Big problem with the wireless headsets, sound dies. And then I just Spider Brawl anything with hit points. Blue, yellow, boss. You can see, because web spray is so efficient anyways, it's only 7 spirit. River of the Soul practically returns the spirit on use anyways. I can spam it as long as I hit something. I can spam it anywhere I want. I can lay out the ground. I can do whatever I want with it. I can just keep spamming this if I really wanted to, but it's not really necessary to keep spamming it. You're better off dropping some bombs with the Spider Brawl. Got a little bit of server lag. You know, the web spray can be better if there's a lot of groups. And I believe the web spray goes right through the anti-missile shield there, so don't worry about that. And let's pull him in. I hit my regen, so I can just sit here and tank him. No worries. He's dead. Pretty easy. Super easy. Much more survivable. Ton more DPS. They upped them up pretty good. So if you're a Spider-Man fan, you're in much better shape. I'll try to get him up to a cosmic level and show him in the cosmic realm. I haven't yet, but he's a lot better, so I will. And so I hope it helps. Hope you guys enjoyed, and talk to everyone later.